Alright, how's it going, guys? We're gonna be doing a traditional drawing video today. It's been a while since I last did one, and Ohuhu sent me their, I guess, new acrylic markers, I guess we're gonna be using these while doing some drawing in tradition. With these markers, technically you can use them on any surface. Like on the website, they actually show a bunch of different things you can do with it. But I'm not particularly creative, I just used it on paper. Now, I guess the special feature for these markers is that these are refillable acrylic markers. So you can just buy the ink separately and then just keep using the same, I guess, pen over and over and over. And you can also replace the tip, obviously. It's actually been a while since I last drew, I guess, an actual drawing in traditional, because I do have a sketchbook like on my desk that I draw in almost every day, but I use it more so for line control practice. So I just draw a bunch of boxes, I draw cylinders, and then, you know, sometimes I draw, I guess, slightly more complex forms, but it's usually just boxes and cylinders or forms that look like boxes. So it's been a while since I've last actually drawn something, meaning I'm not particularly comfortable with moving the pen, so that was pretty weird. I should probably make some more videos where I draw in traditional. Like, I think doing a video series where I'm just drawing, I guess, different, or just doing like traditional drawing sessions. I think that would be kind of cool, because I think a lot of people enjoy just having drawing videos in the background while they are drawing themselves. So with a like drawing in traditional video series, I think a lot of people would actually enjoy watching that and just drawing along with it. So I might actually end up doing something like that in the future. The only issue is that traditional is just a lot more inconvenient to record than drawing in digital, because like even as you can see here, it doesn't look as good as the stuff does in digital, or like quality wise it doesn't look as good. I should probably get a better camera as well, that would help a lot too. But I'll have to see. I'll make one video, see how that goes, and then if people want to see more of that, then I guess I'll start looking into better recording setups for it. But for this video, I was just drawing a simple, well, not simple, it's kind of a complicated looking slide, but I figured I'd just draw a slide because it consists of a bunch of different colors, and I can actually test the markers out with the slide. But then I ran into kind of a problem, which you'll see in a second, and that problem is that I'm not particularly patient, because if you're drawing in traditional, it does require a lot of patience. Things are going to be a lot slower, you have to make sure that everything is right before you actually put down the line, you have to think ahead a little bit. But especially for coloring, the issue is that you don't have a bucket tool, and that was kind of hitting me pretty hard when I was drawing with these markers. Because the brush tip is not that big, so it doesn't cover that large of an area, meaning that you have to spend a lot of time just going over the same area to make sure that it's actually filled up. And I'm probably using it wrong, you know, I think that might be an issue on my part. But yeah, this this is basically what I ended up with. I didn't color the whole thing because it would have taken too much time, but as a test, you can see that the markers, they didn't bleed through the paper, and they also dry pretty quickly. Now, here I decided to do some coloring on an actual, like, normal drawing, I guess. And one issue I ran into is that I'm not entirely sure, or I just couldn't figure out how to actually do shading with these markers. Because if you look on the website, they have some really cool artworks there, which do have shading, sort of. But I myself couldn't figure out how to do it. The thing is, they only have 36 markers for these, and they're all very saturated colors, and like I guess you need to have a very like particular style with that. The thing is, I'm not that big into coloring to begin with, so I wouldn't even be able to figure it out like to start with. But I think you also need to have like a very particular style that you want to create if you only have these colors to work with. So yeah, that's one of the things I was struggling with, just figuring out how to shade things. I think the alcohol markers in general are just better for that sort of drawing style, and I think this is made for a kind of different drawing style. Because again, you can use these markers on like any surface, so I think it's not made for the traditional sort of shading that I'm used to. Because like I'm trying to use light blue here as the shading color, which honestly I think it would have worked if it was just a slightly darker blue. Or not darker, but just a slightly more desaturated blue. Like if it was a bit more gray, I think it could have worked. But you also can't, I also couldn't figure out how to blend colors. That's kind of the other thing as well, because with alcohol markers, you can blend them pretty easily, either by using the like blending color or by using a color that's kind of in between both of the colors that you want to blend. But with these, you can't really do that because they just keep overlaying on top of each other. Like if I were to take green and place it on top of the blue, it would just show the exact green color instead of creating a blend between the green and blue. So yeah, that's a problem I ran into. My normal shading skills, or like all the stuff I know about shading, just doesn't work here. I think a better artist probably could figure out how to make it work, but I couldn't. That said, I do think it's probably more relaxing to work with these markers as opposed to working with the alcohol markers, because like if you were to think about it, these would be probably a bit more casual, whereas the alcohol markers are like the hardcore competitive mode, you know? Like with the alcohol markers or colored pencils even, or like even watercolor, you're probably sweating like as hard as you can trying to make the best artwork possible. Whereas with these, I think you're just trying to relax and just drawing whatever comes to mind. But I do think it turned out kind of decently. And like I said, I'll try to do some more drawing and traditional stuff in the future. Probably not with coloring because... like, again, I'm not that big into coloring, but I think doing some drawing stuff would actually be kind of cool. But that's it for the video, so if you guys want to check out the markers, there's going to be a link for it in the description. And then in the description, you can also join our Discord server, or you can support the channel through YouTube memberships. But that does it for the video, so I guess I'll catch you all in the next one.